Neon speaker box entertainment. Be bold, be vibrant, be neon.
Found families, creating kinship beyond blood. In a world where traditional family structures continue to evolve, the concept of found family has emerged as a powerful alternative framework for human connection. Found families, groups of people who choose each other as kin despite lacking biological ties, represent one of humanity's most resilient and adaptable social innovations. These intentional kinship networks speak to our fundamental need for belonging while challenging conventional definitions of what constitutes a family. They demonstrate that meaningful family bonds can be forged through shared experiences, mutual care, and deliberate choice rather than solely through genetic connection or legal recognition. Throughout human history, families have taken countless forms. While the nuclear family model gained prominence in Western societies during the mid-20th century, this arrangement is just one of many configurations that humans have created to meet their needs for nurturing, protection, and belonging. Ancient societies often organized around extended kinship networks that included multiple generations and non-blood relations. Many indigenous cultures practiced forms of fictive kinship, where community members were incorporated into family structures through ritual or shared social roles. Medieval European households frequently included servants, apprentices, and others who were considered part of the family, despite lacking blood connection. The contemporary concept of found family builds upon these historical precedents while responding to modern social realities. As geographic mobility increases, traditional family ties sometimes weaken through physical distance. Simultaneously, social attitudes have evolved to recognize diverse relationship structures that previous generations might not have acknowledged. The human need for belonging is fundamental. Research consistently shows that social connection significantly impacts mental health, physical well-being, and overall life satisfaction. When biological family relationships are absent, strained, or harmful, found families can fulfill these crucial psychological needs. Found families often develop through shared experiences, particularly during formative periods or times of transition. College friends, military comrades, co-workers navigating challenging environments, or neighbors helping each other through hardship may gradually transform from acquaintances into something more profound. What begins as circumstantial proximity evolves into chosen community. These relationships tend to thrive because they're based on authentic compatibility rather than obligation. Members choose to remain in each other's lives because the connection brings genuine fulfillment, creating a foundation of mutual appreciation that can sustain relationships through difficulties.
The concept of found family has particular resonance within LGBTQ+ communities, where individuals have historically created alternative kinship structures when faced with family rejection. During less accepting eras, many LGBTQ+ individuals were estranged from their families of origin upon coming out. In response, they built support networks of friends and mentors who functioned as family. The ball culture of the 1970s and 1980s, showcased in documentaries like Paris is Burning and dramatized in the series Pose, exemplifies this tradition. Young LGBTQ+ people, particularly those of color, organized into houses led by mothers and fathers who provided guidance, shelter, and emotional support. These houses created family structures complete with generational continuity, shared traditions, and systems of care. These chosen kinship networks provided not just emotional support but also practical resources, health information, and life skills training when institutional support was lacking. The resilience of these communities demonstrates how found families can emerge as survival strategies in the face of marginalization. The concept of found family has become increasingly central in contemporary storytelling. Television shows like Friends, The Good Place, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine feature groups of unrelated individuals who form family-like bonds. Fantasy and science fiction frequently explore these themes, from the Fellowship in The Lord of the Rings to the crew in Firefly to the makeshift family in Stranger Things. These narratives resonate because they reflect authentic human experience while offering hopeful visions of belonging. They suggest that even those who feel isolated or different can find their people eventually. The persistence of this trope across genres speaks to its emotional power and universality. Beyond emotional connection, found families often perform practical functions traditionally associated with biological kin. Members may provide care during illness, financial support during hardship, housing in emergencies, or assistance with childcare. They celebrate milestones together, establish holiday traditions, and create inheritance plans that include non-legal family members.
However, these relationships frequently lack the legal protections afforded to biological or legally recognized families. Hospital visitation rights, medical decision-making authority, inheritance laws, and other institutional frameworks typically privilege biological and legal kinship over chosen bonds, regardless of their depth or duration. In response, some found families create legal frameworks to protect their relationships, utilizing tools like medical powers of attorney, wills, trusts, and domestic partnerships. Others advocate for policy changes that would expand definitions of family to include non-traditional arrangements. As society continues to evolve, traditional definitions of family will likely expand further. The growing recognition of found families reflects a broader shift toward valuing the quality of relationships over their conventional categorization. This shift acknowledges that meaningful human connection takes many forms, all equally capable of providing the care, support, and belonging that we associate with family. Found families teach us that kinship is ultimately about choice, the daily decision to treat another person as fundamental to your life. They demonstrate that family can be defined not by blood or law, but by showing up consistently, providing care reliably, and remaining present through life's challenges and celebrations. In recognizing the validity and importance of chosen family bonds, we create space for more inclusive understanding of human connection. We acknowledge that people have always formed meaningful kinship networks in diverse ways, and that these connections deserve recognition and support. The persistence and proliferation of found families across cultures and throughout history testify to human resilience and adaptability. They remind us that family, at its core, is about love expressed through action, a truth that transcends any particular family structure.
Neon Speaker Box Entertainment. Be bold, be vibrant, be neon.